All right, West Branch students. I hope you guys are doing all right. I've got a little art challenge here for you today. We're going to be making a expanding mouth drawing, or you could even call it a surprise mouth drawing, whatever you like. I'm just working with a regular piece of paper. If you've got some fancy paper or some less fancy paper, some lined paper, whatever you have will work for this. I'm also going to be using a pencil, probably a Sharpie, and then I have colored pencils or markers, but whatever you have will work for this. But this is what it's going to look like. This is a finished product, and you can kind of see the seam here down the middle. So what I can do with this, it looks just like my regular dog fin. However, if I pull this part up, you can see he's got a bunch of tennis balls in his mouth. It kind of makes an expanded mouth, like it's called. So that's what we're going to work on today. So I'm taking a piece of my printer paper that I have, and I'm going to fold it in half like a birthday card. So I'm taking it, you might think of this as like hamburger style. I'm going to fold it in half like that. All right. So now I've got a folded edge and I've got an open edge. Okay, I can open it up like a book. I'm going to take that open edge and just the top piece, so I can see the bottom piece here. I'm going to take the top piece and I'm going to fold that again back up towards the top edge. All right, and that's it. And I want to turn it back this way probably, but that's the part then that I'm going to be able to pull and open up. Okay, so like this one, I said I did my puppy Finn. For the next one here, I could really do any animal that I wanted to. It doesn't even have to be an animal. If you go on like Art for Kids Hub, the YouTube channel, they have some really cool surprise drawings on there as well. But we're gonna do an animal for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Sharpie so that you can see it well, but I would really encourage you guys at home to be using a pencil first. All right, because sometimes we make mistakes and we want to be able to erase those mistakes if we need to. But I'm going to start with a Sharpie, and I'm going to start with the mouth. It's really, really important for our faces that the mouth lines up perfectly along that seam. Okay, if that gets messed up at all, it's going to throw off our whole illusion or our whole surprise. All right, this is important. So I'm going to start my mouth right here. Okay, that's going to be the mouth of my little fish that I'm drawing. It's kind of hard to see. Whoa. And I'm going to add a lip that kind of comes down and then loops back up. Big old fish lip. There we go. And then the same thing on top. All right. So right now, if that was it, just looks like a regular fish. But remember, when we open it up, we're going to be able to see a whole mouth there. It's going to be a surprise. I want to draw the top of my fish next. Okay, and that's going to come down back to my line there, my fold. And then the same thing on the bottom. And I guess the bottom is going to look a little bit different from the top. That's all right. Okay, and I didn't leave myself a whole lot of room, but I should be able to get my fish's tail back here. And maybe it's going to come back around like this. This definitely isn't a real fish. This is my own imaginative kind of fish. Looks kind of silly, but that's the whole point. And maybe I'm gonna give it some stripes up here. Looks pretty cool. And then on the bottom, give it its other fin, and that one will have some stripes too. Voila. Okay, it looks kind of weird though. I'm missing something. Oh, it's eyeballs, all right. So we can just see one side of the fish, so I'm just going to give it one eyeball. And I've got the black part of its eye, there's a little shiny spot, and then I've got the iris on there too. I can color that later. All right, so that looks pretty good. That's what my fish is going to look like for now, but now we want to work on the surprise. So I'm going to open that up, and we're going to have to start connecting things. So I'm going to start with the tail, I guess. And when I connect this, I'm pretty much just going to bring this line straight down and connect it at the bottom, and maybe it's going to come in a little bit on this side and then come straight down here. All right, and that kind of solves the edge of its body. It looks kind of silly, but I kind of like it anyway. And then the mouth. This is the fun part. I started with the boring part. Now we're on to the fun part. So we're going to add the opening of the mouth here. I'm just going to curve that all the way from one part, the top, all the way down to the bottom. And then we want our surprise to be that this fish is really scary. So I'm going to give it some really, really big teeth. It looks like such a happy fish when this is closed, but it's not. It's a scary fish. So give it some big fangs. Maybe it's a piranha. There we go. And then the same thing at the bottom. Oh, these ones are even bigger teeth. I don't want to run across this one. There we go. Okay, and then if I want to be really silly, maybe there's a little fish that's swimming in the opposite direction. And it doesn't even know what's coming. So sad. Okay, and there we go. And maybe there's some bubbles. We can start adding some extra details, make it look really cute, or even more scary, whichever you prefer. Maybe it's going to be a polka dotted fish. It's really fun to add lots of cool details and designs to our fish when we're working on them, or whatever we're making. It's going to be much more exciting if we use shapes and lines, because they make the best designs. But whatever you want that to look like, you can go ahead and add that. And then there you go. See if you can scare somebody with it. I love it. If you have a chance, you should definitely have your parents email it to me or send it to me somehow so I can see them. I love getting to see your guys' artwork that you're working on. And hopefully I'll have another video for you soon. Bye, guys.